Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Legend, where today our thoughts turn to violence. Is this plan actually going to work? I have no idea. I sure hope so. It would be cool if it did. Is Avara... Yes, Avara is equipped. I think we're ready. I think we're as ready as we're getting. Okay, so the key, as always, is to surprise them. We're going to want to, park Avara right here. Then on the following turn, we want to wait until we're pretty sure Brown is done with their stuff, declare, run in, attack so that they don't have time to respond to it, and then, yeah, there's a lot of, I would describe it as a non-zero amount of hope coming off of this plan. But we have some powerful units. Obviously, the damage stats and stuff on our Marines using the Holy Resource should be well in excess of what Brown is able to produce. Fingers crossed. All right, so we have meritocratic promotion. Let's pull a caricature, pop y'all out, and merge you into the unit. Unfortunately, this does increase the amount of money that we are paying per turn for military upkeep, but we have a solution, and it looks like that. Okay, so I'm thinking we're settling Auriga, right? We don't have the villages pacified yet, but we will. Settling the region is the first part in that quest. We're thinking about Belcero to keep green out, but I don't think it's actually worth it. It's just like the region itself has too little value to us. Yeah, Auriga makes sense. I think Auriga makes sense. It's going to be a bit of a walk. And I really don't, unfortunately, think that we have the ability to retrofit a movement trinket onto this settler. Should I have built the settler with one? Yes, almost certainly. But did not happen, so what are you going to do? Okay. Build out here for 654. This is definitely better. And then we build the city as a too wide line down to these. I think that makes sense. This is going to drop us from 70 to 65. No, that's fine. Sorry. I was temporarily forgetting where the breakpoints are. 61% is the breakpoint for happy, so all of this is cool and good. The altar is going to be very good when we get it finished. So, I mean, I guess we could go right now. We have the movement. We know that a military unit just left the city this turn and could still be within reinforcement range. Might not matter. Might be the case we could just take them. What is the cost of the war declaration? Okay, we can afford it. I'm debating. Do we have... We do have a plus 30% initiative from our conflux right now. I suppose we should. We should. If we're gonna do this, we should just do it now. Attacking from here. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, okay. This city will not get to participate in the defense. I suppose attacking from this tile, I think, would be a little bit better in terms of angling, so that units out here are less likely to be able to participate. But unfortunately, there's ruins in that space. Yeah, I guess let's just go for it. Oh, we should also be doing research. It is probably markets. I mean, we certainly have the glass steel. Yeah, I think markets is reasonable. Okay, let's murder. Let's commit 100 murders. Look, all you got to do is give me your city. This city, maybe 1 or 2 more, and then we'll just back off. I mean, I guess put it in siege mode. We could have waited. We do have 23 siege damage, so we could have waited until next turn to declare, but you know, you're giving them the ability to buy in and stuff. Okay, no hero is great news. A stone sentinel with pretty garbage stats. 48 damage is not, like, horrible. And to be clear, Still kind of a threat to my archers, were it able to get into melee range. But I think we got a pretty good punch here. And of course we have the initiative advantage, although you have 7 initiative. 7 base initiative is pretty bad. I did not realize it was that low. Okay, so I'm just trying to what is the optimal morale ball? Something like this, maybe? We want to burn the militia first and try to bait this dude out of the city tile if we can. You have a ton of movement and 4 attack range, so you can kind of just do your thing from wherever. Honestly, I'm going to have her run all the way up here. And then you already have the shot, and I don't think you should move, probably. This should be fine. And then what we really want is both of the demons to come up and hit the side here. Now, Chain Lightning does not apply if the target has any fortification at all, so we're not going to get any bounces. But I think we're in pretty good spot here. And then I'm going to move this Marine up there. Okay, and then, yeah, the militia rush in, which is all of it's good. Yeah, I guess we're just gonna pin that guy in that spot. That's fine. You should probably not be in the lava. The lava does make things a little awkward. Alright, pretty effective. Maybe we will get some chain lightning. Alright, mostly I was concerned with making sure that we had a good wall formed in front of our archers. And it's good enough. Yep, alright. I don't know that we need to do anything terribly fancy here. I am really surprised that thing survived that long. No, well, okay, well, I appreciate the healing, but don't just stand in the lava. This is the thing. With my units cannot be trusted to not self-harm. Alright, so the Kekators can toss out a couple of light heals here at the end, which is nice. Alright, we came out of that at very nearly actually full health. Obviously, that's the easy one. What do you got over here? A settler guarded by a single minotaur. Okay, well, knowing that half of that army is settlers definitely reduces my concerns about the follow-up. Let's see what we took. Okay, so it's got all of the basics built up. Not bad. 5 population, ready to do the work. The city is even immediately registering as content. What's ownership just flipped? I guess it hadn't fully established yet. That is a fair description of the thing that occurred. Oirenth would love a full garrison of Kazanja units. I mean, we'll see. That feels expensive. Alright, so you're going on your thing. Yeah, we're definitely going to need those markets because our expansion disapproval is going to get a little wild. What do we want to build here in the interim? I mean, it could be this kind of stuff, I suppose. But it also could just be military units. Why did you build your city here? Oh, right. This region's just kind of crummy. Like, there's just not a lot in the way of, what do you call it? Anomalies or anything. Okay, so the question is, how much do we push? Let's take their temperature real quick on the truce. Okay, they're very mad and they think they can do something about that anger. They could be right. Are these their only 2 other settlements? That's a thing we can know. Wait, is elimination the one that showed? That can't be right. 5? I mean, mine shows 2, and I did have 2 settlements at the beginning. They can't possibly have 5 regions already. Well, okay, I guess we'll see. Yeah, I guess just build units. Probably just more Marines. These, sadly, are not Holy Resource Marines, but what are you gonna do? There's only so much titanium to go around. And then the eclipse ends. That's a fine time for it, honestly. Pretty happy with that result. I think that went well. So my assumption is that this unit will not turn around. Oh, interesting. Friend, I don't think that's wise. No, they're getting away. They hesitated just long enough. I was trying to catch an angle that wasn't going to include the city garrison. Okay, titanium booster's over, and that's fine. We do not run the glass steel booster because the second we do, a bunch of our troops are going to lose a lot of damage. We have to hold off on that for the moment. Oh, right, and we captured a titanium extractor, which is actually excellent news. Very good thing to do on the first turn of the war. Yeah, if we can capture one more city, it would be a big deal. And every turn we're just going to keep poking. Okay, so their stuff has adjusted a little bit here. So we could pay them out of the war with just a little bit of anything, really. This is one of those things where you got to consider, are you overextending? Because, like, what if we just got out now, right? And their military is looking quite powerful overall, but we don't know how it's arranged, where the units actually are. I'm going to press, and mayhap we will regret this. Has happened in the past, yeah? But I think we have enough of a compact military power advantage that we can make a thing happen here. All right, so we ran in. I am intentionally trying to engage them now within range of the city because what I would like to do is bait the city's defense forces into a battle outside the walls. Yes, please involve the reinforcements from Parian. My guess is this is a retreat, but it also lets us look. Alright, this is good to know. There's no hero in Mandara. Okay. I believe that's the right move for them. Let's take a second here and watch how they move. You can hear stuff in the shadows. I'm going to try to draw you back away from your city. If you want to fight me, you fight me over here. So, stone sentinels of a higher design, better attack, much better damage. Minotaurs with real stats, high initiative too, 75, jeez. What are we at? 30s? 75 is a very, very high initiative for this moment in the game. Are they still in kind of that same place? Wondering about the shift here. So you have a bunch of really fast units with a bunch of really fast units in terms of movement with really high initiative. So fast units who are also fast, which poses a problem for an army that is reliant significantly on archers to get the job done. But it's not necessarily the end of the world. And if we could defeat this army, I bet this is most or even all of their actually good units. So if we broke down Makani Che, if I fought you right here, you would get your city, right? Yeah. We have to bait them The fact that they have the initiative while also having so much movement makes our lives really difficult. If we were like a heavy infantry-based army, I wouldn't be so worried about this. Because even with them having control, we could just beat them on raw numbers. Because their troops, like, values aren't actually that good. But with an archer army, you have to be so careful of your positioning. The thing is, if we could volley, we can crush them. Yeah, we have better attack than their defense, for the most part. With, Are you on the holy resource? The difference in... You must not be. We could refigure the design. Hold on a second. Now that we have income again, if I refigure this design... Okay, yeah, you do not have resource. So... If we do that, we can throw down a retrofit really quickly. And do I want to burrow? If we burrow here, 3365, I mean, that's not bad. Yeah, we can start slowly working on a burrow. It's not going to change our actual approval level. All right, I'm gonna. Where would be safe? Where is a place that you would have to go without your reinforcements to attack me? We'd have to move the whole battle over 1, 2, 3 tiles if we attack on that axis. So we have to take it all the way to the city. It might be best just to take the one city, but like, look at how developed this is. If we took this, 3 tiles with proper roads and stuff, it would be an awfully big deal. And if we could beat this army, we probably get this city and maybe pressure on another one. I'm gonna keep trying to push here. So we're going to try to get you into Parian's garrison really quickly. Then we're going to retrofit the out-of-step Marine. They're going to bring in more reinforcements, but... Wait. Okay. I think this is a good attack. This keeps the Minotaurs out. Yeah, and it lets us really press them on the reinforcements. I think we caught them at a really good moment here. They may just retreat. Yeah. Okay. Unfortunately, that probably didn't actually spend the action point of all of their armies. Okay. So no change of opinion here. We could buy ourselves out of this war very easily. We have to see if it is actually worth doing first. It's interesting that they haven't moved their real army at all. Not sure why. At this point, you can go back to... Wow, does that actually not... It doesn't change the, the number of turns on that build at all? Okay, maybe we just stay on dust for a second. So... Because the thing is, as things stand right now... trying to debate, like, what is the right move next turn? If we attack here again, they probably will just not flag any of these units as reinforcements. They'll let us eat the 2 units. If we move over here and attack this instead, they get these reinforcements in addition to all the others, which hurts. But I think they're unlikely to want to retreat here because it would kill the Minotaur. Usually the AI is pretty it's not 100% of the time, but they're usually pretty leery about doing retreats that kill units. So we might get to take out a group of units here, and they might do the same thing where they don't even bring in the reinforcements. And if that's the case, then we've effectively neutralized 5 of their units, right? Because these things are so weakened that in a battle they'll be dead before they actually reach anybody. I think it's maybe good. I think we have to be very careful here. So they are bringing that superior productive capacity to bear on us. And with us only having 1 army, we have, limited ability to help here. You know what I should have done? Because I was pretty sure they were going to do that retreat, I shouldn't have included all of the garrisons as reinforcements so that I could use the Kagator to pressure these 2 units afterward. Because I could have had it attack with the other militia as reinforcements, and that still would have been a win for us. Yeah, that was a bad application of the unique mechanics of this battle system. So the question is, do we try this move? They don't get the city garrison. We won't get our capital garrison either. So it's just, if they actually wanted to fight it, it's 9 units versus, 13. But our units are better than theirs. And they have to pour in from the reinforcement panels, but they will. And they have so much movement that it's not going to hurt them. Like if they go this army and then this army, it doesn't even matter which way they do it. That's 6 units with very, very high initiative and move. I think we should just take the buyout. I was really hoping to get to press more, but it looks to me like they're gonna give this up for a single titanium. Okay, 2 titanium. So we paid what, 60 influence and 2 titanium for a city. I would certainly take that deal on the trade table in other circumstances. I think that we are going to find that if we keep pressing here, it is going to turn around on us. Okay. And with that, I think it is acceptable for us to swap the holy resource to fire this and get our dust production going. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. It's an extra 30 dust per turn. We get some governors to buy, right? Like we have use for all this money. So I'm going to swap our marine designs probably. Well, maybe not though, because like marines with glass steel crossbows are just a lot worse. 18 attack, 10 damage versus 27 attack, 18 damage. You get initiative, but it's not a large enough boost to initiative to get us anywhere near beating the Kapaku cavalry. So yeah, maybe I don't bother redesigning them, and then if we go to war again, we'll just fire this. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Not a bad deal. I was hoping to press for more, and hopefully in the future we will, but for right now I think we needed to waive that. What would it cost to break the truce? There's a thing you can do. It's very expensive. The cost goes down over time. So, it's maybe worth considering just a little bit. Okay. Let's build and research and grow. I will say, for the amount of time that we spent building the army, definitely less of a result than I would have liked. But All right, so we're putting it down here, yes? It's not too far from another cluster of anomalies that we could try to build toward, but this is where the approval is. It is a very low industry area. That's a little upsetting. All right, I think it's probably the case that any neutrals in this area are done with their moves for the turn. So, like, this is 13-2, 16-9 versus, say, that at 8-11, 12-6. That is better. It's not going to grow quite as quickly, but it will be actually capable of building things on its own. And then we build toward this. Yeah, that's probably actually the right move. It's going to be a little awkward. Our settler is very likely to get attacked by Magte during next turn, but it's fine. We'll sort it. So let's get y'all on the defense squad. Somebody's going to have to come over here and shoot all of these Magte. And then, yeah. Okay, we're developing. We're going. Sorry for, like, I played that, like, really slowly in terms of actions per real-world human minute, but just trying to earn every little bit of advantage we could. It's never as straightforward as you would like. That's not true. Sometimes it's as straightforward as you would like. Sometimes you're playing necrophages and it's just like, and then I ate them all and laid eggs in their corpses. But at other times, there are costs. Okay. So just this turn, we hit enough to fire this booster. We absolutely need to. Look at that, 94 dust per turn. Hell yeah. What's the cost of a hero at this moment? So 500 by the time we get there. We can do that. We're gonna need them. Okay, so going to be building central markets in many cities. Oh yes, another big advantage, of course, of moving to a new holy resource is that we can actually afford to build winter shelters. So if I do this, it takes 2 turns off the build. That is our next faction quest step, right? Build the winter shelter in the capital. Yeah. We do need to get it done. So it's like, get that thing done 2 turns faster, but I don't think we want to lose the speed on hiring heroes, honestly. So everybody just do your best here. And honestly, like, does it make sense for me to do this too? It's a lot of money. Yeah, let's do this. Let's burn through hiring the 3 governors, as fast as we can, and then we'll get the other stuff down afterward. We're gonna need highways. Maybe this would be a good moment to pursue access to the other half of the market, though. Gosh, we still don't have cultivation. But, like, my concern here is just that we don't have time, right? Like, we're very, very busy. We do have access to the deep generator here. It costs 20 of the holy resource, but it's just good. It's just a very good building. I think we're going to take the thing that doesn't require us to spend anything to take advantage of it for the moment. It looks to me like it would be very difficult for us to pillage in Brown's territory. Like, they close their borders, right? So we can only pillage stuff that is on the border. Yeah, I don't know. I think we'll get Imperial coinage, and then we'll figure things out. We're definitely not... I was really hoping to gain more than one city because I think we need the pace advantage of that. We did get access to an Urkin here, which we can maybe press. Huzzah! 15 emeralds. Maintain a minimum of 3 influence in the new city. We should be able to do that without it affecting... Yeah, birth rate's fine. Okay, so 5 turns until we have 3 new population. And let's see about conquering an Urkin by force. I can't imagine we're going to be able to do this unless we finish Imperial coinage and it turns out somebody's been selling a whole hell of a lot of that stuff. I'm not going to do it. But yeah, let's get that done. Okay. Green is filling out a little bit more. We should probably go meet red. We should see what the deal is with red. But we're about to go into turn... I had not realized. We're like right on the cusp of Empire Plan time. And we're going to have just enough to do this same Empire Plan. And I would really like to be able to pull this, but where am I going to find 160 influence this turn? So I guess, yeah, we're still... The plan is the plan. Except that maybe the plan is different than that. A conundrum, to be sure. Oh, there's the hostile... Okay, they just spawned. Well, let's grab the extra accessory slot. Not immediately terribly useful. Hopefully they'll run over here, because we are within their movement range. I don't want to turn around, but I do want them to fight us. So I'm wondering about doing that instead. Like, we're not where we would like to be on science, and I'm definitely making that problem worse by going that way, but also it is really going to help quite a bit with the heroes, and I think it's worth it. Making a lot of non-standard decisions here. So if I attack the Irkin, the lice are going to play defense, right? I have to imagine. So we probably want to burn that lice army first. Oh, there's a cliff here. Oh, that lice army, like, kind of can't move. And in fact, yeah, we have to do that to even approach the Irkin. Weird. Well, it's going to move right as we get Imperial coinage, so we don't have time to wait. And honestly, I'm sure we wouldn't be able to buy 30 Quicksilver anyway. So, and I wouldn't necessarily want to, even if we could. We have other uses for that money. Yeah, I guess we're just going to press them. I mean, we should be pretty good against lice. They don't have particularly high movement, and their defense is very, very, very poor. So we should be able to shoot them. Even without the extra stats from Holy Resource time, because we're no longer equipped with the right things. It's still, like, our stats are still good. Yeah, alright. I think I'm just gonna attack the, Are you gonna make me come down there right away? I guess even if they siege that city, it probably is not right to do that. Oh, and if we don't take the Irkin, Brown's gonna get it. So yeah, we gotta make the move here. You're the melee Irkin, right? You're not the ranged one? Okay. We're going to lose bodies for sure, but as we've seen in the past, gaining a giant monster, well worth it. Okay, the lice army does not show up to reinforce. That's good news. I was very worried about that, for sure. So we don't get... So we're going to have 3 combat speed? Yeah, that's not so bad. The terrain here allows us... They've started all on this side of the cliff, so the terrain here allows us to cheat a little bit. And in fact, we even get to have one of our flyers, without breaking our defensive formation, we can have one of our flyers stand here and attack down the cliff for free damage, which is cool. These things do have free counter, right? Yes, that's a real concern. The Kekator is dead for sure. No two ways about that. I think I'm cool with this setup. Alright, so first things first, you fly up here, you melee down there. Probably deal a fair amount of damage. Then you do not fly over there. I understand the reflex, but in fact, we need focus. So I think we just have to burn through these lice as quickly as we can. There's no sense in trying to like beat the Urkin through them. So they're gonna run forward. This one might run down here, so we have to be a little cautious about that. But like, I think we can have you step up to here. You're probably not... Well, move to there so that we have better access here, and then you should probably step in and fill this space. That's how we should do that. And to the Kikator I say, good luck, friend. Pretty good. I actually underestimated our units slightly there. All right, we get big advantage here, holding the block or the bottleneck. Oh dear! I forgot how fast the Urkin is. That's real. That's some real movement. Okay. How do we want to deal with that? The Urkin does not have free counter, so we can stop it from hitting. Yeah. You're going to attack up the cliff. Once again, denying counterattack. This one is bravely sacrificing itself. You're going to shoot there. We should be able to get through all the lice this turn. Yeah, I don't know exactly how this is going to work out. You should back up if you can. Oh, the lightning went the wrong way. I was just sort of assuming that that lightning would go towards the one who had low health. Okay, it's a start. It's a start. So, I mean, she's got to do this, right? Because we have to make sure that it is safe for our melee to continue living. So you're going to move to there. Ooh, no, you're not, because you'll attack the... That louse is in a really awkward spot. All right, I guess move to here. Yeah. Ouch. All right, now it's just the slow wear down. No, if you attack like that, you don't spend his... It's safe for you, but you don't spend his attack. Sorry, friend. And we can't... Yeah, we can't get a high ground or anything out of this. This is fine. Alright, so the other Daemon can block his attack on the next round. Although it looks like maybe it's not... Yeah, maybe it's not necessary. Yeah, go here and just... I think we're going to get him. Okay, excellent. So in the end, we only lost the Daemon and one, like, basically fake unit. So now what we do is we have the Urkin relocate to this region. Migrate here. There's not really much of a difference between those two. Okay, cool. So we got ourselves a friend. We have moved our friend to a place where it will not be easy for Brown to take him away from us while he recovers. And in theory, if we... Oh, hell yeah. We just got these. This is perfect. Unlock. Yeah, and his region contacts 3 of our regions. Actually, wait a second. Where's the Parian border? Okay, yeah, it is just 3 of our regions, but 20% bonus dust in 3 of our 4 cities. Good stuff. Can I close borders to Brown? How expensive is that? Close borders is always such a pain. The AI does it to you all the time, and so it's easy to think of it as a thing that's trivial, but they only do it to you all the time because they have cheaty resources. Okay, we do get to buy a hero this turn. So... Okay, we got some good ones here. The classic Soyala Tocha move is available. How is your 1 skill point? It is not allocated. Wonderful. There's an Edra. It is not one of the better cultists, but it is a cultist. Empty Belly does not have a governing... Yeah, let's pick up the Suyala Tocho. So, industry boost, and particularly you'd like to be in a place that's forested. Honestly, the capital is probably the best spot for you. Okay. And industry boost rather than industry efficiency is nice at this particular moment. All right, build toward the next one. We gotta get down here and clear up these hostile poison archers. Overall, our resource gain over this episode, I think, has been quite good. We're getting a lot of very important work done here. If we settle backward into this region, it's another region that's adjacent to Fakir. We can just leave Naquakik unsettled. Oh, Naquakik has wine itself. Interesting. I don't think I had realized that before. Also, interesting that they didn't come over and fight us when they had the chance. Well, we'll try to attack from here so we can involve Undurin. But I was saying that would be a way to get us a second resource, because remember, we still don't have the boosted Master of Luxury, because we only had one luxury resource deposit. We are pulling the wine now, right? Yeah, the Irkin is getting us wine, but we'd be getting it twice as fast if we built an extractor over top of it. Well, maybe it's worth it. Let us, I guess for the moment, just end the turn. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with our gain there. We're starting to get some other stuff done, getting approval up. Our overall Empire approval level is pretty screwy right now. We definitely need to worry about that. Alright, let's get rid of you. And we do have to do this manually because it does require a tiny bit of care. We have to make sure that this unit, actually both of these units, do not get anywhere near actual combat. Why would you be down here? What is the value of that? Alright, neither one of you is to approach under any circumstances. That didn't actually, there we go. Okay. Yeah, and you lot, make with all the running forward that you would like. So you're gonna go nowhere. I'm actually gonna, I'm gonna have most of the archers also not move forward. Well, you would only make it that far forward. I'm just thinking, like, they're gonna move, then we're gonna move, then they're gonna move and enter combat range first, the way things are right now. If they go to here, yeah, we get to there. Oh, no. This unit will be able to attack, probably. Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Okay, beyond that, everybody just get aggressive. Well, the shields did what they were supposed to do. Everybody run over there and rub yourselves against the diseased as quickly as you can. My units, they don't like living, you know? Oh, we should, now that we're not in like a desperate position, we should probably take a second here and make sure we're gathering pearls. Oh, I did finish my tech. Okay, so this is like, this is the moment to like go back and grab cultivation. I can't believe I have to go back and grab cultivation. I did things in a very strange order this game. God, if we had managed to beat Brown's, like even half of Brown's army, such that the other half felt it couldn't stand against us easily, we were so close to getting another city and probably some population, or probably some like technologies and stuff. Ah, well. Okay, 40 influence. Build 2 new boroughs in Oirinth. Well, I would love to do that. That sounds great. I'm going to do this first. Also, hooray, pacification. Yep, that sure did not happen. Absolutely not. Oh, interesting. Red has settled down, so red has put a cap on brown. I mean, there's still a lot of space southward to extend potentially, but that's interesting. No visible exploitation, so we still don't know who we're dealing with. I might bounce these 2 over to the capital just to have a better handle on Fakir, should it come to it. Because we know if we can't close borders, they are allowed to walk into our Urkin region and just attack the Urkin, even though it is, you know, ostensibly one of my units. Do we want to settle again? Is this a time to begin building another settler? Because I do kind of want to get the wine income going. Although, getting wine income in this region would be a bit of a pain because, of course, we'll have to burn off the fungal infection, which takes forever. But like, this might be a good time to expand. Yeah, all right. 4 turns without focus. 2 turns with. 121 becomes 186. I really don't want to lose the money. We are optimized for a certain thing at the moment. Speaking of which, so there's a Jasa Murdap who is fine. Might be our winner here. There's a Dust Efficiency 3. This one at least also has food boost. So, I mean, we certainly have cities with anomalies. Moving up to trade route bonus, into fast trader, to pretty fast inspirational leader. Honestly, Jasa Murdap in like the new city would not be terrible. Yeah, Peyton Quinn's fine. Empty Belly's not really what we're looking for. Whitechapel does not have a governing capacity. Yeah, I think Jasa Murdap's actually a pretty okay fit. You wouldn't want him in Parian. Yeah, this makes sense to me. And now that we're done with that, let's really burn through these, shall we? It's good to have governors. I'm hoping, standing here, our zone of control will be making it expensive enough for them to move that they shouldn't be able to grab these. And then we can grab them next turn. Yeah, that was like all of their movement already. And with me having 5 move, I pay... Yeah, this should be fine. Okay, an Unknown Empire is producing all of the first 4 strategics. Let's get you into the capital. It does kind of seem like they're heading around to be able to fight Fakir, which makes me a little nervous. I do not care for it. Hostile minor faction units are stronger. Assimilation cost is down. Am I happy with our assimilation? Yeah, versus 15% defense and 30% fortification. Yeah. Naquakic has Silix. What is the quest that we have from these ones? Bring 5 glass steel to their village. Okay, I mean, Naquakic is looking more and more like a reasonable settle. It's just like, it's such a good place for me to have an Urkin. This is a Gelderus region? Gelders give plus damage. And what do we see down here? Black dust and mineral rich. So we built right between those. That's a relatively high industry location. Yeah, that's really interesting. I think it's better play for us to do this. That is where I'm planning to send that settler. All right, Fakir's health is coming back. He's almost leveled up, and as we've seen in the past, a level is worth a lot of stats on an Urkin. I'm a little worried that we may find him difficult to defend here, though. It was 120 to close borders. So we will have it next turn. I think we may have to. Just to make sure the Fakir is actually safe. Because if you're going to really press... Oh, well, no, sorry. They probably can't attack our Urkin because of the truce. Even though there are some special rules about when Urkins can be attacked, the truce probably prevents them. Yeah, I probably don't have to worry about this. Okay, then I guess I won't. You know, we haven't actually looked at the luxuries that are available here. Let's make sure that we do that. Right now it costs 25 for us to run a booster. So there are some things that like may well be worth the price, for example. Yeah, 21 wine boosting. Yes, that's gotta be worth the money. It's not going to take us all the way to Fervent, although it gets us pretty damn close. We have some markets in construction, which would push us over the top. In particular, the market in Parian is, like, high value. Okay. Oh, the glass steel booster ended. Let's just go ahead and refire that. We are earning 18 glass steel per turn at the moment, so... feels like it's probably okay to do. Alright, yeah, get out of here. These are my pearls. Go, leave. Vamos. Oh no. A plague of savagery. So, even more units, even more attributes, even more bonus to the attributes of hostile neutrals. Hostile neutrals is a weird thing to say. You know what I mean. Hostile minor factions. So these units probably have actually, yeah, pretty impressive stats overall. Yet more reason to settle over here. But if I'm going to do that, I should probably go and scout, because I don't know for sure that we're, like... We don't know anything about that region, aside from the fact that it has wine. So we should figure that out. And we're not going to be pacifying those Seratan villages, so hopefully somebody else is in position to do that. I think it's very funny that the dust reward goes to the final contributor, not the one who pacified like the largest number of their villages. It's just whoever gets the last one. Okay, so we can... Ooh, there's a Wayrasigo up. We can get next turn. That seems like a big winner. Yeah, governors. It's good to have governors. Oh, once again, I built the settler without a movement thing. Well, I think I might still close my borders. It's a lot of influence. Yeah, I'm not gonna. But you sure look like you want to fight my Urkin. You know, they could declare war in theory if they wanted it badly enough. Do I want to do this, or do I actually want to just finish up necrotic agriculture? Because Therat's not growing super fast on its own. I mean, probably the right way to deal with that is to build food structures in Therat. It's looking like a short winter, so let's just go ahead and build the seed storage. And in fact, let's make sure we queue up seed storage everywhere. Hooray, we finished our building thing here. So we can actually build resources now, or build buildings. Yeah, it's got to be Wayresigo, right? Wayresigo is a great fit for Parian. Not as many trees as you might like, but it's okay. It's not the only skill they have. Okay, big boosts. Just give the city a push. And then we just need one more governor for the new city. And then we can start refocusing away from super heavy dust output. Although we're still going to have pretty good dust output, I think. Speaking of dust, what is the cost of the retrofit? Because I bet it's just going to be worth it. Oh, yeah. In this situation, for sure, worth it to just pay. I like this song a lot, the Kapaku theme. Okay. What comes next? We are in a position to be able to build. Like we could do a research that gives us a building and benefit pretty well from that. It's probably past time to get our alchemy workshops going. And keep in mind, we're not giving up on the military strategy. We spent some troops there, but we spent them to acquire even greater military power. Once Fakir is healed up and leveled and has a couple of lice spawned, we can start thinking about, and probably once we're up in the next tier of strategic weaponry, we can start thinking about pressing brown again, particularly if we can meet up with red and get them in on the action. Like I captured this Urkin not for economic purposes is what I am intending to get across here. Okay, yeah, good. So we're gonna get that boost to fervency presently. And I'm actually really curious what is going on with this region. My suspicion is we're not seeing a lot of settlement pressure from the right because we know that the actual... Actually, this might be... Is that... No, I think that's a river, not the Mycaran border. But yeah, we know the Mycara are over there, so they're probably like keeping the land to some extent free of people. That's a little inconvenient. The way the cliffs are arranged, and the way this army ran out of movement right next to where I want to go. Yeah, it is definitely safer to step down this way. That's only 2 pearls. All right. This way we get to end the turn in a tile that's not available to them on their next move, so I'm hoping they'll just keep going wherever they were going instead of turning around to fight us. Gold ran out, not much we can do about that. We're gathering as fast as we can. Look at all of these high impact structures. Okay, we can pacify these. Like we do need to do that at some point. I kind of want to wait until it's a thing we can do with the hero for XP reasons, of course. All right, so you can just run up to there. That should be fine. We don't have the ability to propose peace. I was gonna say maybe we should just try to make friends. What we could do is compliment. I don't think... I'm uncertain whether a compliment affects the cost of both players proposing positive treaties. Like maybe if we make it cheaper to be friendly with us, they'll just do it. But I actually don't have any idea if it works that way. We'll just hold the influence. We may well need it for our empire plan. Okay. So we can probably pull people off of cash right now. We might want to wait one more turn. It's like we definitely have some money. Yeah. Let's do one more turn committed to dollars here, and then I guess like for the moment, the only thing that makes sense to build in this city is like military units. Yeah, we're gonna need more eventually. This city, we could burrow, but I think actually we do military units. I think that remains sensible. And in Oirenth, once we finish the seed storage, we're probably going to have to swap people to food focus. Because we need to build a couple of, what do you call it? A couple of burrows. Interesting. A black spot on the Mycera. Okay, they seem to have moved away from us. I guess... Yeah, alright, move to here. I'm wondering if, in fact, if we should just start burning. So we are going to want to be rid of this. Gosh, this region is quite tiny. And it turns out settling between those two anomalies is not actually going to be all that easy. Yeah, we have to move all the way around all these cliffs. That's very awkward. What do your stats look like? 50 initiative, 8 movement. The AI does prioritize movement very well. Well, they're going to get pretty cross with me if I start burning stuff. And out here in the open, the way they will express that is through murder, which I'm not, super keen on. Let me have a look at the resources in this region. So I'm debating settling here just to get it committed. And then building toward that. It's definitely less good. I mean, as things stand, we don't even know if this works because we can't see whether there could be more cliff here. This we can put down next turn, and it's not awesome right now. It'll get pretty good once winter ends, and winter's ending soon. And actually, we might cling to dust mode for like another turn or two just to be able to buy out the initial high value buildings in this city. I think I'm gonna do it. And as such, I'm going to start the burning process now. Yeah. We're gonna settle this as quickly as we can next turn, and that'll prevent the Mycera army from coming over here and fighting me. If it was just this army, I'd say we might be able to take them, but we know that other army can't be very far away because they don't have enough movement to be very far away. As soon as that lights up, make the region mine. Khazar is under the control of the Mycera. Okay. So obviously we're going to need some of this stuff. Let us go and purchase for you a governor. So we don't have quite as much good stuff here. Argbad Bos Valhalla is fine. Totally fine. Ululani Raui is a little... I mean, we get nothing from these skills at all, but Blazing Ingenuity still works fine, and it gives us easy access to Inspirational Leader. Industry Efficiency is pretty good. Science Boost is pretty good. Maybe it is still Ululani Raui, honestly. It could even be swap Ululani Raui into our volcanic city and then move the Necrophage governor up here. I don't know. I don't know if I like that as much. Argbad Boats Valhalla just has Science Boost 3 and also, you know, tons and tons and tons of additional science. Although it is a little bit more of a pain to get to Inspirational Leader because you have to go up one level higher. I think we're going to take the Ululani. So the problem is that the Necrophage is not, like, we don't get a lot of value out of the capacity up here. I'm going to put Rowie to work here for now, and we may swap them later. Let's go ahead and buy this out. And then, yeah, we'll keep the money commitment for another turn or two. Okay, Oirenth needs to build... We just have to start building for leveling districts up, right? We gotta get some of that done. And this city needs to probably focus on food because we're gonna need to have another point of population before we can build the other one that is required of us. Okay. Yeah, this is a one village region, so the Necrophage not doing the best possible work here. Yeah. Empire approval dipped again with the extra city. That is a shame. We might be able to buy our way out of it if we could afford to run a booster of one of the higher tiers. There's actually a lot of resources on the market right now. Even a lot of the tier 3s, there's a lot of resources. Moonleaf's pretty cheap. It's not cheap enough. So we need 30 now. But we could keep some part of the Empire dust focused. And yeah. We can keep a large portion of the Empire dust focused and just press to get enough to run a Moonleaf booster. I guess the wine's going to run out pretty soon. It is probably more valuable for us to rerun the wine. And as soon as we burned this off, then we build the wine extractor. That gets us the augmented extractors, and that'll help a ton. Yeah, that's good. Do we have the... Okay, we do have the point of population from this thing, even though... Oh, I should probably not let that starvation happen. Even though it is overgrown. Okay, and Fakir is producing more lice. Fakir is leveled up as well. Yep, big difference in stats. Okay, and the end of the winter is huge. It helps so much. Okay, this quest is not completely impossible for us to get this time, but I don't think I'm going to take the time out of our busy schedule for it. We got a lot of things going on, you know? Okay, so these two are going to be able to start building Alchemy Workshop right as it finishes. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff going on here. What do we need to be doing? We need to be buying things. I need to run another wine booster in a few turns. I guess we can just wait until we actually get there on that. So 30 Moonleaf is gonna be like 500 at least. Actually, the cost will probably go up faster than that, right? So I don't know. We can't afford it, is how much it is. It's fine. Yeah, I think it's okay. So we get the birth in 2 turns, finish this in 2 turns, start the next burrow. And like really what we're trying to do here is push into the next era because we need... Oh god, we're so behind. Oh, we're so behind. Also, I don't know who Pink is, but they're racking up all of the deeds, which makes me a little nervous. We may need to trade for information. may turn out to be a high value play for us. Okay. So let's buy off the back end of this. Let's definitely... Huh. Am I not allowed to build the wine extractor? Maybe the deposit is not considered clean until after the beginning of the turn. Yeah, this might just be a weird timing thing. Oh, hold on a second. That's a badly wounded Khazar right on the border. I mean, we should do this, right? Oh, that's the Mycera city. Green wants peace. We know nothing about their situation. Can we get a read on, like, are they losing a war? They are losing a war. Well, it doesn't hurt us to take peace, and it's not like we would attack them anyway. So I think I'm fine with this. Who knows? May have benefits down the road. So the question now is, can I get Khazar without involving their city? And the answer is yes. Well, we must, obviously. I'll take a second, Durkin. I'm not going to turn my nose up at that. I don't know what we're going to do with it. We got to put it someplace where they can't attack it. Yeah, I don't exactly know how we deal with that. But that is what we are going to do. And I think at this point we can start refocusing the cities back to production, probably. We have enough money to buy out the wine booster, and I think getting the other booster going is just not actually going to be feasible. We're pulling gold. I mean, buying our way to a refresh on the gold booster is probably actually worthwhile. It gets there at to 90. It's not going to do 4% empire-wide happiness, though. So it does bring down the value of it a little bit. Because fully half, actually well more than half, of the Empire's population is already maxed out on happiness. Yeah. That's tough. Y'all might have to stay on dust. It turns out we actually need it here. We gotta get our highways up for sure. We are a little desperate on money. It turns out we have the ability to turn on the jets a little bit as far as money goes, but still, it's not good. Oh, we gotta, huh. This is high value. This needs to happen. Can't believe... I can kind of believe. Alright, let's go steal an Erkin. Alright, please tell me I can now build the wine extractor in this region. It's still not showing up. Well, that's a concern. Howdy. Really? I feel like our odds are a little better than that. Soyala Tocho gets a level. Very good news. Very good news. Over in Oirenth, we get to start the construction of the next borough, which awkwardly still can't level anything up. Yeah, that's a bummer. Oh, here, let's build it here then. And somebody else... Oh! Somebody finally burned down that Eyeless One's village. That's wild that that took that long. And I'm just not allowed to get the wine out of the ground here. I'm gonna hope that, Here, we're gonna stop recording in a second. So I'm just not gonna put anything in the queue here, and we're gonna hope that save and reload causes that to be available to me again, because like we actually really need that extraction to happen. I have the tech. We started with the tech. Yeah, like, concerns. Okay, it's probably fine. It will probably be fine. I'm gonna go ahead and run this manually, even though I shouldn't need to. You are absolutely not to engage in combat. Dude does have 300 HP. And 4 movement. Okay. So, what I'm gonna do is give him an easy target who can't die. And then we're just gonna rain down a lot of arrows and hope that that gets the job done. I guess I should move you to here so that this one has room to move up. And don't get involved. I'm hoping we'll just... Okay, no, we're not going to get the 300. Pretty close. That's really what I was hoping wasn't going to happen, but... It's fine. We got more archers in the queues already. Alright. Also, I received 30 dust on account of the black spot. I wasn't really thinking about that, but that's fun. Well... You know, what we could do here is we could move Fakir, now that Fakir is more stable, and relocate Khazar to the position that Fakir is in. Oh, this is the food, Urkin, and it's wine, and wine is the resource that buys the food. Okay, this is very good news for us, actually. Also, the fact that this was already bought out is very good news for us. And we get access to endurance training, which is fine. All right, I think what we're going to do is just save the game immediately and call it here for the day. I didn't even notice we were past the hour, because it turns out this video game is good. And it commands my attention. That's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. It has been a little bit of a strange one, but I think we made a lot of gains relative to the number of actual turns that have passed. And now we know the location of the Mycera city, and I'm giving a non-zero amount of thought to just trying to crush that. With 2 Urkins and everything, like, I don't think it's impossible. It is definitely something at least to consider. Because, like, it sure would be cool to have a city with all of the upgrades and 14 population and everything. So that's maybe a goal for next time. And when you come back next time, we will see if we cannot, in fact, pursue it. And we'll see you then.